Welcome to the Miele Experience Center in Princeton, New Jersey. My name is Vicki Robb, and today we're going to be making buttermilk biscuits. We love making buttermilk biscuits all times of year. They go great with a holiday meal, with a beef tenderloin, or even in the summer, they go so nicely with fried chicken or ribs. So it's a recipe you can make all year long. This recipe comes together so quickly, it can even be a last-minute decision before a meal. That's one of the reasons I love it. It's just some flour, so we're using all-purpose flour and cake flour. And we're going to use our Cuisinart today. You can use any food processor, or you can even do it by hand. So we'll include those instructions on how to do it by hand. We have some salt and some sugar, just all your dry ingredients, some baking powder and some baking soda. So we'll just put our lid on here and give it a few quick pulses. And then we add the butter. So I've cut it into cubes. You can just kind of scatter it here. This is 2 sticks. That's why it makes it so delicious. Buttermilk biscuits with that buttermilk and lots of butter. They are so good, fresh out of the oven. So I have my oven preheated to 425 on convection bake. You can probably see that behind me. And I'm just going to continue to pulse this until the butter has little coarse pieces. And then we're going to start adding the buttermilk. Take this piece out. I'm going to turn it on. It's really easy to do this by hand too, but doesn't the food processor make it so easy and fun? So this is 1 cup of buttermilk. Continue to let it process until it forms a nice dough. Okay, I think my food processor is saying it's done. So let's take that off. We'll just take our dough out and put it on the counter. And we're gonna knead this for a little bit. Oop, don't wanna lose any. We're gonna knead it for a little bit on the counter, and then we're going to roll it out and make our biscuits. So we'll be right back. I'm going to put some flour down on my work surface because it is a kind of sticky dough. And just push it out a little bit. You can do this by hand. I'm also going to use a rolling pin. You want it to be about a 1-inch thickness before you use your cutter to make the actual biscuits. So we're looking for 10. You could get 10 to 12 depending on the size of your cutter. That's good there. Now I've already prepared my round baking tray with some baking spray. So it's like a cooking spray, but it has some flour in it. This is the perfect size tray to do 10 biscuits, and it works beautifully. So we're gonna take our biscuit cutter, just cut out our biscuit, put it on the tray. We want them touching. And I'll continue to cut these out, and then we're gonna put a little wash on the top before we pop them in the oven. Don't these look great? They fit so perfectly on our round baking tray. So I have a little bit of buttermilk with 1 egg I just beat up here, and I'm gonna brush it on the tops. As I said, we have our oven preheated to 425 on convection bake. I have the rack on shelf level 2, but since we're using convection, it really doesn't matter which shelf level in the oven you use. If you happen to have your rack on another level, they'll cook just fine. You can also do this in any Miele oven. It does not have to be the 30-inch oven. Just make sure you're using convection bake. We really want to get nice, golden browning on these biscuits, and they cook super fast. So let's get them in the oven. And it's just about 10 to 12 minutes. I'm going to set it for 10 because we can always go back and add more time. And that's how easy it is. All right, the biscuits are finished. I could see because we have the light on, they look beautiful. They smell so buttery, they look gorgeous. And this is one time when I'm going to tell you, you don't have to wait to let them cool. Just dig right in, grab some butter, and no matter if it's a fancy meal or something simple, I think you'll really love this recipe.